I wish I had brought more clothes, especially short sleeve shirts. A lot of my shirts were longer sleeved or like nice button up shirts, but I just ended up like throwing them all away at the end of my mission because it was so hot and sweaty. So just go for short sleeve shirts and really like loose flowy skirts that are long so you can sit down anywhere. Most of what you're going to be sitting down in are like lawn chairs. Sometimes I would sit on like a rock, or usually not on the ground though. They usually try to give you the best seat that they have. But some of the houses are really poor and they don't have very much in the way of sitting or anything really. It does get pretty cold in the winter, so you're going to want a coat. It rains like every other day, so bring umbrellas. And I say umbrellas because they're all going to break. I think I went through 3 umbrellas and about 7 watches because the humidity kept destroying all of them. So yeah, don't buy anything expensive basically. Yeah, bring like leggings or thermal tights for the winter and a raincoat. Also for the streets, you're definitely going to want heels, as not like high heels, but like shoes with thick heels, so that at least you get out of some of the water and you don't feel the rocks as much when you're walking on them. I've heard Crocs work pretty well because you'll end up wading sometimes, so you could try that. I had lots of people bring backpacks or shoulder bags. I say bring a waist bag. I had a waist bag that I really liked that didn't put any weight on my back. Lots of missionaries have back problems because you're going to end up carrying lots of things, and so I really liked my waist bag. That worked out really well. Also, I would say minimal on the things that you have to carry around. So buy a teeny tiny Bible and a teeny tiny Book of Mormon that you can carry tracting with you. I also put my hair up basically every day, so just plan on that and bring lots of hair ties because it's really hot during the summer and I sweat more than I have in my whole life put together, I think. Also, I used an umbrella during the summer because of the sun, because I'm really fair-skinned, and that was probably the best sun protection that I could have had. I used a lot of sunblock too, but the umbrella works way better. Also, when you're sweaty and sunblocky, it's not a good combination. It's just kind of like a sticky mess. Also, use bug spray. I got like 100% DEET spray that helped a ton. I think I was the only sister missionary that didn't have legs that were chewed up at the end of the mission. So, especially in some of the northern parts, in the jungly areas, like Iguazu, the sister missionaries just got eaten alive because we don't have anything protecting our legs. We don't have pants. So you're definitely going to want bug spray. I also only put on mascara for a whole year and a half. I think I wear makeup to zone meetings and things like that, and special occasions. But other than that, you're just going to walk outside and sweat and it's gross. So don't plan on doing your makeup or your hair.
But the weather is, like, it does get cold in the winter, which is our summer. So like from the end of May to early September, it's cold, especially in July and August. It never snowed where I was. I don't think it snowed anywhere in the mission, but they do like it snow like once every 10 years or something. So, but it does rain a lot in the winter, and so we do have rain boots. And I had like rain boots that were warm, like with I don't know what was inside of them, but they kept me warm. And so I would definitely like recommend that, like high, like knee length rain boots, because you like have to walk through puddles because they like have no drainage on their streets. Like when it's raining, no one goes outside except for the missionaries, and so like you're walking through puddles all the time or riding through puddles. So definitely bring rain boots because it rains a lot, and a good raincoat that's like warm and will keep you dry. Like umbrellas are good too, but if you have a good hood on your raincoat, like you're fine, because there is a lot of wind as well, so the umbrellas do get broken a lot. A lot of my missionary companions like had their umbrellas broken. But if you can get a good umbrella that is wind, like Mary Poppins approved, wind resistance, that will be good. And for clothes wise, I definitely say bring like some good tights, thick tights in the winter. I was wearing like leggings and tights over it because some days were really cold, but then other days were fine. And then just, you know, regular tights because it's just like, you know, just not too cold but not too hot, but you wanted to wear tights. In the summer it gets like really hot and it's super humid, so, and that's when I was just wearing like a t-shirt and a skirt. So I would just say bring a lot of like good layering things, like have a t-shirt that you can wear plain, but then you can throw a sweater over it and then wear your warm coat over that as well. You do have like opportunity to buy a lot of clothes down there, because they will like sell clothes, like they have a lot of like secondhand clothes where like people will either sell them in their house or on the street, which are pretty cheap, so you can get those. I brought my coat with me. I mean, you have the opportunity to buy them down there, but so if you don't want to, bring something big with you. But because I like traveling in the winter, it was warm for me as well. I would say for shoes, I like brought, you know, good shoes that I bought, good walking shoes. But I found out when I was down there, especially during the summer, like I did not even want to be wearing the kind of shoes that I bought in the U.S. And so what all the missionaries do down there is buy like what we call here Toms. They're called alpagatas down there, and they're like super cheap. They're like $5 to $10 down there, and you just like put them on, you know, don't wear like socks or anything because it's like got so hot in the winter, or in the summer. Our winter, their summer. And so I ended up buying a couple pairs of those and just wearing them all the time, and they were so great because all my other shoes just made me so hot. And all the sister missionaries wear them. It's like the cool thing to do. So I would recommend bringing good shoes, but buying those down there because they're awesome.
Very windy. Very windy. All of the areas are windy. So I had some skirts that were kind of like looser and just to the knee, and they just would not work out because it would be very windy. So I heard some advice before I left that it was like you should buy pencil skirts or longer skirts that are heavier that won't get blown up by the wind, which is very good advice because it's just an extra hassle to try to have to like worry about holding your skirt down. But yeah. Going on my mission was kind of silly, and I wanted nice looking shoes, so I just bought like shoes from any shoe store that weren't missionary related or weren't for walking around a lot, and they held up for like 2 months, and then they had holes in them. There's not a lot of paved streets, so my shoes that had thick soles were my favorite things because I couldn't feel the rocks. The ones that had thinner soles, I could feel all the rocks in it, like really hurt my feet sometimes. I had boots. I would definitely suggest boots that are waterproof, and like it gets muddy because there's no pavement and it rains quite a bit in some of the areas. So it's just good to have boots that are really solid and strong, and they're hard to find in Argentina. The clothing and shoes there aren't as well made as here, and they're very expensive. So I was very glad that I had brought in a pair of really, really solid boots.